Hey, g'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Now this video here is basically to show you what I've done with this rather cheap Kmart boat. What I've done so far anyway. It's not 100% finished, it's basically 95% finished. Before I seal it back up, I just wanted to show you what I've done. Now, if you've been following my channel for the last, say, 6 months, you would have seen this particular boat that I bought from Kmart on my channel. I think I reviewed it last November, just before Christmas. There was a couple of reasons why I decided to buy this particular boat. It was only 20 bucks Australian. So today's exchange rate, because of the virus and everything's going down in value, I believe it's like nearly 60 cents US to the Australian dollar now. So this would cost it's worth about 12 bucks American. So in today's money right now. So yeah, I basically bought this for two reasons. The first reason was I've never seen a RC boat at Kmart before, and the size. So that's basically the two reasons I bought it. Because the size, because I knew that I could do something with it. Okay, which I'm doing right now with it, is a boat build. So I did review this one on the channel. Initially it came with, let me just take this lid off. It came with a compartment here which housed like, I think 6 AA batteries. Now when I did review this, I didn't even bother reviewing it on the AA batteries. Like I said, it ran on about 6. Yeah, I did try it out, and before filming the review, after I did the unboxing and so forth, and it was just painfully slow. I just thought, no, I'm not even going to bother. So what I did at the time during my review is done away with the AA batteries. I cut out the bay underneath this lid here. I'll show you in a second. I cut out the actual battery tray that housed the AA batteries, and I soldered on a battery cable, one of those nickel metal hydride or NiCad black connectors, because I don't have any red JSTs, but red JSTs fit to it. And I ran this at the pond on a lithium ion pack, I believe. I don't think I put a LiPo in it. And it still ran slow, but reasonably well anyway compared to the AA batteries. So after that review was done, I started to get stuck into what I intentionally wanted the boat for, was to build a project. So went on eBay, went on Banggood as well, ordered an ESC. It's a 30 rated rated ESC, rather cheap one. I'll show you in a second. I also bought a mini servo, 3-wire of course, to fit the ESC. And also the motor and jet thruster, which is on the back here. So that's what I did, guys. So while I was waiting for those parts to arrive, I had to cut this boat open, right? Now, if I compare this to a hobby grade boat, you can see, hang on one second, I'll get around the camera. This is pretty much the same size as the FT012, so it's a fairly decent sized boat, okay? Now, I had to cut this one open because when I looked at it, I was thinking, where are all the screw holes? Like, how am I going to open this apart? On the FT12, you can see there are some screws on the top canopy here, on the back, here, so to take the lid off this one and separate it, you can actually unscrew it, but not with this Kmart one. It was totally sealed, so I had to get the Dremel out and slice it all the way around here, as you can see. Basically, I'm going to seal that up, obviously. That's the stage I'm at to now, is actually putting it back together. So that was my first task. Let me just get this apart. And that was while I was waiting for the parts to arrive. So I cut it, sliced it like a cake. Initially I was going to cut it underneath here, underneath the line, or underneath the lip. Now I thought, no, that's not a good idea, because if it doesn't seal properly, when I put the Silastic or, silicone, it's underneath the lip, so I decided to go above the lip so it'll be protected by the water. If the water splashes up as it's driving, it'll just streamline down the back here and exit out the back. So yeah, here's the components, guys. This little box here was where the original receiver ESC board 2-in-1 was, you know, the toy grade one. So I kept that, obviously, so I can cover the actual ESC that I put in there. I've got the cable, which is the NiCad cable. As I told you before, I don't have any red JST ones on spare, but this is the lead of the ESC to this cable, which goes to the motor, okay, to power the motor. It's got an on and off switch here. Okay, I'm going to mount that on the top canopy there. I'll probably make a little incision just around here and then put the cable there for the on and off switch so I can access it from the outside. And here's a little mini servo. It's metal geared, okay. I had to make a steering rod myself, you know. It's not the best, it's not the straightest, but that's the only wire I had in the shed, and it was actually curled up, so I had to straighten it out, but it does the job, straight enough. So yeah, done that. It's connected to the back here, and here's the actual 390 motor with the jet propulsion thruster on the boat here itself. That comes in a kit. This whole piece here comes with a kit with a silicone tubing. I had to just drill holes from the back here and yeah, install it and screw it down. Now when the motor's running on this, what's different to this than your typical, you know, outboard propeller boat is that the propeller on this one is on the inside. It sits inside there. Okay, you won't be able to see that because I haven't got the flash on the camera, but it sits in the middle here, guys, and it basically once the motor's fired up, it will basically propel, shoot out the water out the back like a jet propulsion system. And also underneath I had to cut a little hole here so it can jet water underneath, guys. Okay, now here's where the little I don't know, 180 motors were mounted, you know, when on the original boat. So I got rid of them, obviously, and I've siliconed them up, or hot glued them actually. I'm going to add some more in there to seal it off a bit better. And there's little indentations here where those sensors, where it touches the water to make it power up, the old sensors were there, so that's why it's a bit of like a half moon shape there. So I've done the best I could there. Yeah, so I super glued this in place. It's pretty solid. I might put an extra bead of hot glue around that as well, just to, you know, stiffen it up even more, make sure it doesn't crack off the super glue. And yeah, that's where the receiver and the ESC is housed. So yeah, basically she's pretty much ready to go, guys. What I'll do, I'll put a 2S LiPo on it quickly, and I'll just show you it working. And that's basically it, guys. And then I can seal it up and take it to the pond. So I'll just quickly power it up and show you guys how it works. And yeah, we'll go on from there. Okay, I just got a 2S LiPo here at the front. That's not where it's going to go though. I'm going to put a piece of Velcro here, and then a piece on the LiPo, and then put the battery in the middle there. But for now, I've hooked it up. Okay, so that's on. The ESC is on. I got this Dumbo RC controller off my ZD Racing 1/16 scale brushless truck. I took the receiver out of it and put it in the boat because I've got a different receiver in the truggy. Okay, so as you can see, let me just bring this closer. It's fully proportional. So that will make that's your turning. You don't have a rudder on this. This is going to be jet propulsion. So the water will be thrusting it forwards and also making it turn. The jet of the water will make it turn. Proportional, okay? And the 390 motor. Proportional. So there it is there, guys. So it seems like it's going to have a bit of power, even though it's only a little 390. I'll just turn it off. And yeah, I look forward to taking it to the pond, guys. What I'll do, I'll quickly just show you what ESC I used, and yeah, that will be it for this video, guys. Okay, there's the ESC and the receiver I'm using, guys. So these ESCs are very cheap on Banggood. They're like 10 bucks. Rated to 30 amp, 20 and 30 amp. I've got the 30 amp version. And this is a Dumbo RC receiver. And they both just fit nicely in there. I could put the lid back on. I won't do it now, but that's I'm glad that this box was here, because yeah, it does fit in good. And it had the hole for the aerial there. I'll put that on later. But yeah, I plan to pull the wiring aside here, and then I'll put a piece of Velcro just there, just so I have the lipos balance in the center of the boat rather than on the side, you know, because this has got a little bit more weight to it now than what it did when it was a, you know, Kmart toy grade with toy grade electronics. So I'll just put this back on. I'll give you an idea how I can access the batteries inside. So that's how it will be when it's sealed up, guys, okay? So that's all I've got to do is just seal this up with a couple of beads of silicone. I haven't got it on there properly, guys. It goes on these little posts. See that? Just there. I've got to line them up with these posts here. But that's all I've got to basically do. There we go. I've got it on properly now. So yeah, I just got to run a bead of silicone, or no more gaps or something like that, something waterproof right around the boat. I'll do a couple of coats to make sure it's, you know, watertight. And as you can see, yeah, like I said before, I can get access to, you know, the switch, and I'll try to mount the switch up here if I can. I might make a little insertion there and glue it. Yeah, but I can access the lipos and all that sort of good stuff. So yeah, so that's basically it, guys. Just wanted to show you this build and explain what I've done. It's going to run off a hobby grade controller here, you know, this Dumbo RC controller transmitter. So I should get very good range with it. The only thing that I've got to be concerned about when I'm driving this around now, down at the pond when I try it out, is just to be careful that I don't tip it on its lid, okay? Because this doesn't have any anti-flip function. It doesn't have a rudder to help you out, because, you know, those boats like the Phelan here, if you tip this over, you're actually using the rudder and the throttle forward and back to flip it back over and then take off again. I won't be able to do that with this one because it's got no rudder. It's just jet propulsion spraying out the back. So I just got to keep it in a straight line. Like if I throttle on, I'll just keep it in a straight line, try not to throttle too much around corners. But we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty happy with the results so far. It seems to work pretty good. But we'll have to test it out in the water. Okay, guys? So, yeah, basically I just wanted to I always wanted to do a boat build by buying some parts and putting one together. And yeah, this is the first time I've done that. Turning a really super cheap toy grade off-the-shelf $20 Kmart boat, or, you know, around 12 bucks American, ripping all the electronics out of that, throwing that away, and putting some hobby grade electronics and you know, receivers and so forth in it, ESC and servo in it. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to thumbs it up, post your comments below, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I'll put a link to some of the stuff that I've used in this build, if you guys are interested in doing your own, perhaps. And also, during this video, I'll put up the original review of this boat when I purchased it from the local department store. Alright, guys, thanks for your time watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. It's raining here quite a bit at the moment, so I don't know when I'll be able to get out. The local pond where I ran that W All Toys truck the other day. As you can see, it's pretty dried up. So the closest pond to me now is around half an hour drive away. So it all depends when I can get out there. I don't know when, but I'll try to get out there soon to test out this boat. I'm pretty keen to see how it runs, especially with this sort of system, with a jet on the back, jet propulsion from the 390 motor. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, happy RCing. Bye for now. See you later, guys.